I'm a young, introverted, feminine gay in my early 20s. I'm having relationship issues, or more so, lack thereof. I'm in love with this guy I met in high school. We barely spoke to each other at all in high school and never conversed with each other or even can be considered associates. Going on 2 years later, I still find myself in love with this person and do not know what I should do. We both still in the same city. Just never see each other. I live in a medium-sized town that is neither too large nor too small. Being nosy, I browsed his social media and found out where he works, which is a clothing store. Wondering, should I try to get to know this person? Go to his job, which is a fashion store I was planning on going to even before finding out he works there, and develop a conversation with him. Try to befriend him and lead it to a possible date a few months down the road. This is completely out of character for me to do because I am a reserved Capricorn. Also never been in a relationship and not really into hookups, prefer a monogamous relationship. The conflict lies that the person I'm in love with appears to be an extrovert Sagittarius who is very sociable and eye candy to a lot of people. Making matters worse, his high school boyfriend also works at the same fashion store as a manager. I don't know whether or not they're still together, hoping they're not. This is the reason why I never told him my true feelings in high school. itsrox, what in the world should I do? What you need to do is quit stalking this boy. You kind of stalking this kid. And realistically, I don't think any of this is a good idea. Like I've said in the past, you have built up a fantasy in your mind. You've admired this person from afar for so long that you really kind of got this whole story in your mind that, you know, you're going to go and talk to him and build up a conversation and become friends with him and go on dates with him. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're building yourself up for a heartbreak. Okay, first of all, you already know that he's seeing somebody. Not only is he seeing somebody, but he works with that person. So you are going to be going to a store that his man is there with him. I know we see it on TV all the time and everything, but people don't just take to you just coming up to him and talking to him and striking up conversations. I mean, it happens. It happens. But when it's plotted out like this, a lot of times the shit backfires. And it really kind of sounds like you stalking this guy. You done figured out where he works and all of this, and for 2 years you've been liking this boy from afar? Ooh. Oh, honey. I mean, it could all work or it could all not, okay? And are you sure you want to put yourself out there like that? I mean, is there not other people that is more available to you? You're an introvert, he's an extrovert. That right there, I can tell you. A lot of times when you're an introvert and you go up to somebody that's just over the top and gregarious and always wanting to go and do and all this, you know, that alone makes the person that's an introvert kind of odd to an extrovert. Not calling you strange or anything. I'm just telling you that I don't think it's a good idea for you to go through this whole plan. I don't think it's gonna work out the way you want. I've had crushes on guys, you know, in the past that was so unavailable to me, okay, and I got this whole thing wrapped up in my mind how it was gonna work out, and really got my feelings hurt. Okay, so I think that to save you some heartbreak and everything, what you should do is try to be with somebody who is going to appreciate you. You know, put yourself out there to meet people that are more like you, okay, or even not necessarily have to be more like you, but people that are just more available. And I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for failure. I would not do any of that. Was that mean, y'all? I feel kind of bad telling them that, but I'm telling you, I can't let this boy go over there and say something to this guy and the guy be an asshole to him or anything. What y'all think? Hi, Rox. I'm an African-American female and I attend a predominantly white high school. I've been in the school district for a while and I know how these people are, so I tend to stay to myself, but I really can't take it anymore. The white kids call us niggas on the daily and are constantly making racial slurs. Of course, when we react, we are being overly sensitive or distracting, which usually results in us being sent to the dean's office. There are less than 100 black students at the school, and I honestly feel as though the majority of them forget that they're even black. The black guys always talk about how they would never in life date a black girl and how we are so disgusting. It doesn't bother me that they don't date black girls. I guess that's just preference, but it becomes a whole other situation when they're making rude comments about all black women as if their mother isn't black. I've talked to my mom about transferring, but she thinks it's best that I don't. The school district that is probably about 15 to 20 minutes away from us is mostly black, and that is the school I'd like to go to. Just a couple of weeks ago, the all-black girls basketball team went to a basketball tournament. The school they played against is dang near an all-white school. When the girls arrived, they were greeted with the kids from the white school dressed in safari outfits and gorilla suits. I believe they were always saying racial slurs to the girls. When I saw this on the news, I got so upset. I can't even imagine how those girls felt. With every day that goes by, I feel like I'm starting to dislike white people more and more. Am I wrong for having these thoughts? I feel like no one understands where I'm coming from. I just wanted to know how to handle these recurring situations. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. No, you're not wrong for feeling the way that you feel. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. That is the craziest. I went to a school that was in a predominantly white neighborhood with a lot of affluent, rich white kids, and gosh, I have never had to face this type of things. Being in Los Angeles, not saying that that there's no racism in Los Angeles, but definitely not. I mean, I wish these people would show up somewhere in a gorilla outfit in Los Angeles. That shit would never happen. I don't even know if you said where you were. Oh, that just upsets me so. It sounds like your mom doesn't want to take you out of the school because evidently the school must be a good school. Okay, and when I say good, I'm saying academically. This must be a school that she feels that you need to have on your records when you try to proceed on to college and things like that. I don't even really know what to tell you. No, I can tell you 100% that you're not wrong for feeling the way that you feel. Nobody should feel like nobody should have to go to school and be called nigga every single day in racial slurs, okay? And then it's even worse that boys feel the way that, now I can tell you that part is kind of what immature boys will say. I wouldn't want you to, all I know is that I wouldn't want my daughter to have to go through this all the time. And I probably would take them out of school, because once I feel that it's starting to affect my child in a way that is not healthy, then I would probably look into other options. But oh girl, I don't know what to tell you. No, you're definitely not wrong. And I mean, what do y'all think? What can you even do other than, because it's easy for me to say, oh, just turn the other cheek, and they don't know you, and toughen yourself up, and just believe in yourself. And of course, all of these things you should be doing. However, the reality is every day somebody talking about you, being down on you, being negative about you, that shit wears on you. If your mom is not going to take you out of the school, though, you're going to have to find a way to deal. And that's not fair for anybody that's your age to have to be facing things like this in life already. But whatever it takes for you to be able to get through your day, then I suggest that you try to find whatever it takes. And all else I could say is, this, like anything else, will eventually pass. But I'm just worried about what it's doing to your psyche in the meantime, I read that article that you sent me. She linked an article about what happened. And I'll actually link it in the, in the bar below. But yeah, girl, my feelings, how my heart goes out to you. I just hate ignorance, and I hate that, there are some white people, because all white people definitely are not bad, and all of them are not racist. And, even though you're feeling like that's how you're starting to feel about every single one of them, and I don't blame you, because you only go by what you see. I can tell you that the real world, not every single white person is a bad person. It's too bad that you've got to get a start like this, though, okay? Because these type of things, I do feel, affect people in the long run. And like you said, change your view on a lot of things. But continue to talk to your mom about it. Really stress how you feel about it, and see if you can get your mom to change her mind. If you cannot get her to do that, it's sad, but I'm just going to tell you to try to find some way to cope with all of that. But definitely, no, you are not wrong at all for feeling the way that you do. That's a terrible thing. It's so funny because a lot of people always send me questions about my marriage and why I don't talk about it too much. This one that I got says, I know you're private. We're not asking for you to show them, but how long have you been married? How did you meet your husband? What are some of the key factors to a successful marriage, and advice on resolving marital conflicts? And then they asked me if I'm in an interracial relationship because of my kids' hair and eyes. First of all, my daughter got her light eyes from my mother. My mother had hazel eyes, and so my daughter got the hazel eyes. But no, I'm not in an interracial marriage. My husband is black. His family, part of his family, his mother's side is from Louisiana, so I guess if you want to call them Creole, I just, they black to me, but, I know some people from Louisiana like to say they Creole or whatever, so that is where my daughter gets her fair skin. My husband is also fair skinned. As far as me not really talking about my marriage online, I just have chose not to do that because I just feel like my marriage is separate from my social YouTube, Instagram, Facebook life, and I like to keep them separate because that's just how I've chosen to do this whole thing, and it's worked the best for me thus far. 16 years has been good days and bad days, like anybody else will tell you. We've had some extreme highs and we've had some extreme lows, and resolving marital conflict will always be communication. I can say that I'm not always the best communicator, and my husband is more of the communicating person. It's something that I have to work on, because I think that, like I told you guys before, I'm easiest when I talk to a group. When I talk one-on-one with somebody, then it's a little bit more intimidating for me. You wouldn't think that, huh, with me being on these videos and everything, but when I look at my computer, I see, millions, even though it's not millions of y'all yet, but I see millions of people looking at me, and that puts me at ease. Resolving marital conflict is always going to be communication because people cannot read your mind. Nobody knows what you mean. And when you think something and you think that everybody else think the same way as you, you're going to quickly find out that everybody don't think the same way as you. And if you let it go on for years and years thinking that somebody knows what you meant, okay, when they have had a totally different, when they looked at the same situation totally differently, this is how problems grow. If you nip it in the bud from the beginning and tell somebody what you meant and not assume that they know what you meant, then that is probably the best way to resolve marital conflict, and really the best way to keep keep your marriage successful. Am I in a successful marriage? I mean, I don't know if anybody is in a successful marriage until your marriage is, until you're dead. Okay, then you can say, yeah, they were a success. They was able to stay together until a person died. So I won't say that my marriage is successful. I will say that I've successfully been able to stay married this long. And it has not always been the easiest. I mean, being married is a job, and it takes a lot of give and take, which I've said a lot already about. But once you get with another person, even if you're just in a relationship, but when you get married to somebody, it's a lot of chopping off half of what you want and putting the other half of what the other person wants in there. Sometimes you're going to get what you want, sometimes you're not. Okay, and sometimes you're not going to see eye to eye. Sometimes you will never see eye to eye on a certain situation. Sometimes you have to agree to disagree. And it's just an everyday job. And I don't want it to sound like it's negative because, as you get older, and I saw my mom and my dad, like my mom got sick, and she needed my dad. Okay, she needed my dad. I mean, of course, our rest of our family was there as well, but she definitely needed my dad's support. And and I know that as you get older and shit starts to happen, you get sick, you get hurt, you need that other person to be there, okay? And I don't want to be lonely, and, I do want to be happy in my old age. I mean, I want to have my kids and my grandkids and all of that. So you know, I want to be a part of a family. So I definitely want my marriage to always work. And if you want your marriage to work, then you work at making your marriage work. That's it. But yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, my husband won't be on here. And he won't be on Instagram. And he won't be on Facebook. People who know me personally know my husband. Um, but yeah, it's just something that I've decided to keep away from Instagram and YouTube and, you know, social media in general. And it's worked out thus far for both of us. So that is that. I'm a 24-year-old female and I live on the Caribbean island of St. Lucia. When I was about 12 years old, my parents went away to live and work in the U.S. while leaving my sister and I to live with my mom's sister. I'll just go on ahead and say that she treated us like dirt and dogs. She starved us sometimes, wouldn't allow us to go anywhere, would gossip about my parents in my presence. It was so bad that I ended up with clinical depression. I even had thoughts of taking my own life at one point. This came as a shock because my aunt never ever treated us with hate before. It's been about 7 years since I stayed with my horrible aunt, and now my entire family on my mother's side seems to estrange themselves from me for the sake of me coming out about how my aunt treated me before. And my mom seems to be making excuse after excuse for her family. It's almost like she never believed my sister or me. Rox, how would you react to the family? I need to heal. What do you think I should do? What should my approach be? I would really like your advice. I always find you to be a reasonable person. Oh, this is a sad letter as well. Let me just kind of tell you what I think that your mom is going through. I think that it's easiest for your mom to deal with the guilt of leaving you and your sister behind with her sister who was such a deadbeat caretaker. I think it's easiest for your mom to deny it in her mind so that she doesn't feel guilty for leaving her two girls in, you know, dire straits. I feel like deep down inside that she knows that she failed you guys. And a lot of time as parents, it's hard to admit that we've done something to harm our children. She's going to have to come to that. She's going to have to come to that on her own, okay? I fucked up as a mother. I did not do it on purpose, but I left my kids with this woman and, you know, my sister who I truly and totally trusted, and she treated my kids like dogs. That's for your mom, okay? So I'm going to tell you that she's denying it and saying that she doesn't believe you, but I feel like deep down inside that she does believe it, okay? As far as the rest of your family, it's sad that nobody believes you. I don't know why they think that you would have any reason to lie about something like that. And I don't know if you'll ever get them to understand how you and your sister were treated. Okay, a lot of times they just gonna be like, oh no, not so and so. There's no way she could have did this to her own nieces. You might have to find some sort of psychological treatment, which means that you might need to go to a doctor and you know, talk your feelings out, because you know you can't change people's minds. People are really stubborn and, you know, kind of feel like you're lying. They may never change their mind, and you're gonna be finding yourself, you know, knocking your head up against the wall all the time, frustrated because nobody is believing you. Okay, so this might be something that you got to work out on your own. Go to a psychologist, tell them what happened, and you guys work through the healing on your end, okay? Because you can only control your end. As far as your sister, your aunt, and your sister should do the same. As far as your aunt, I always feel like what goes around comes around. And people that do bad things to other people, eventually bad things happen to them. We're not wishing any bad on your aunt, of course, but you know, that's going to be taken care of, okay? Call it karma, call it God, okay? Just call it the way things go. But, you know, you can, if it makes you feel better, you might have to confront your aunt about it one good time and let that get that off your chest. And, you know, and then you might just have to try to move on with your life, which means that you might have to distance yourself from your aunt and from others who, you know, continually not support, you know, you and what you feel have happened to you. As far as distancing yourself from your mom, I won't say that's what you should do. I think that it would help for you to realize that I really feel like it's your mom's guilt that is making her not see it. And if she could even try to get some counseling, which, you know, it's going to be next to impossible if she already feel like she doesn't have a problem already. But yeah, that's sad. I don't know why people would be so outwardly mean to children when children don't have any choice Okay, and no other resource and no other outlet, no other where to go, no other place to go, you know, that children have to face this, and then it fucks them up in the long run, you know. But I think you're on the right path right now, just trying to figure out how you can heal. And I feel like how you can heal is going to psychologists and trying to work it out that way. Okay, good luck to you. Dear Rox, I am 20 and I've been dating my boyfriend since I was 17. We aren't perfect, but we work on our relationship just like anybody else. The only thing I find myself really getting angry about with him is his family. I first met them when I had just turned 18, and at first I felt overwhelmed, to say the least, as I am still young and I am an only child who has divorced parents. He has 4 older sisters, 44, 42, 33, and there's one more that she didn't send the age. And he has 4 older sisters. Lately, I have noticed that his family has been gossiping about me every single time I post anything on Facebook. His youngest sister and I forged a small friendship, but then I realized she would only call to get information about me. His family really doesn't see any point in having any real close ties to me since I am not his wife yet. It bothers me. Being an only child does get quite lonely, and part of me wishes his sisters could be like my own over time, but 3 years later I'm still having the same issue. They act like they want to be cool with me, but then they give me the cold shoulder later on. I guess I'm just confused. I have just been ignoring them a lot lately. Do you think that's the right thing to do, or do you have any better suggestions? My boyfriend chooses to ignore all of us together when it comes to this issue because he hates to offend any of the women in his life. You are only 21, 22, however old you said you were, 20. There's really no reason that you need to even be trying to deal with no women that's 44 and 43 and 42 and 33 or however old they are. Stop following them on Facebook. Okay, see, this is exactly why I don't mix a lot of my personal life with Facebook and all that. It's just entirely too much. I don't even really be on Facebook no more because of all of this kind of stuff. Right now, you're not the wife, and they really still think of you as a kid, okay? They're not taking you seriously, and they sound like they probably childish themselves. I would just kind of distance myself, okay? Stay respectful, but yeah, it's no need for you to be around them. There ain't no need for you to be talking to them or any of that. Okay, now I know you trying to become the wife. I mean, you know, not trying like, oh my God, I gotta be his wife or everything. But I mean, you guys are working on a relationship. Definitely the next step would be engagement and, you know, marriage if that's what it's gonna be. So it would be easier if you got along with his family, but, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't always work out that way. I wouldn't worry about any of that until you at least get to engagement, because they feel like, oh, this is just a girlfriend and, you know, eventually it'll be somebody else. Yeah, I would just cut it, okay? It doesn't seem like your boyfriend is really feeling like you have to have a relationship right now. It's too bad. It's nice when you can have a good relationship with your, you know, potential in-laws or anything, but at this point, child, save yourself some headache and some heartache. Get them off your Facebook, okay? Don't be following them. Don't be posting shit for them to read. Just cut it, okay? And be very quiet. You ain't got to be getting into arguments and confrontations with them or nothing. Just cut it and go on about your business, okay? We'll readdress that when you get engaged. And if, you know, if nothing has changed by then you just keep on cutting it, okay? It's too fucking old for all this childishness, but it's sad that this stuff exists because it really does happen, y'all. I mean, I do have some friends that get way too involved in they siblings' love lives, but girl, just cut all that. Go on about your business. I've been dating this guy for 3 years now, but we've been knowing each other for about 15 years. When we started dating, he told me he had a son, which was cool because I have 2 kids of my own. One day in conversation, he asked me, did I think his son looked like him? And I said, no, but is he? Why did you ask me that? And he said, no reason, I just wanted to know. Even though I found that strange, I let it go for the moment. As time went on, I asked him again, was his son actually his? And he said, maybe. I told him to get a paternity test since he had doubts. He agreed. So one day he purchased a test from CVS and took the test and found out that the son was not his. I felt bad for him, consoled him, was there for him. About 6 months later, his phone rang and I answered it because his ex, the boy's mom, was calling. Long story short, we talked and she told me he knew from the beginning that the boy wasn't his, but agreed to be in the boy's life. He He had been deceiving me for years. Even after the test, he would sneak and talk to her and still see the boy. I'm pissed. Why not just tell me from jump, I asked. He talking about he thought I'd leave him. What the fuck? I asked him many times to just tell me the truth about this matter, and the nigga just kept lying for years. My question is, should I leave him or forgive him and move on? Thanks, Rox. Yeah, that was an unnecessary lie. And people who unnecessarily lie are always somebody that I have to give a side eye to. Why didn't he just tell you from the beginning that he was taking care of a boy who was not necessarily his, but he, wanted to be in the kid's life like that? I mean, what is the problem with that? It's not real clear when he had the baby, how old the baby is. I'm not real sure if you was with him when, well, you couldn't have been with him because he said that he had a son, right? Before you guys got together. Yeah, I don't even understand what he lying for. That, to me, when people unnecessarily lie, it makes me wonder what else they're lying about. Okay, shit that may be even way, way bigger. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that you should leave him, but I'm just going to tell you that maybe you need to reevaluate what it is that you trust about this man, and if you feel that you can trust him from this point on. Him taking that paternity test was just his way of breaking it to you. I guess he got tired of lying to you or whatever, and maybe this was going to be the easiest way. So he going to act like he finding out right along with you when even though he already knew that. But see, that baby mama, honey, them baby mamas is definitely going to make sure you know the real, okay? I'm not going to say you should leave him. I'm just going to say that this should open your eyes to what you're dealing with, okay? And maybe we need to start looking a little bit closer at other things and seeing if this is a pattern or if this was just a big mistake that he made this one time. You'll know the best. That unnecessary lying is one thing that I cannot get past at all. Why are you lying on stupid shit? Okay, just tell the truth. I'm having a real hard time trying to have a relationship with my mother. Between the ages of 8 and 13, one of my first cousins was sexually abusive. I tried to tell my mother and she didn't believe me. She told me to my face that it would create a bind in the family. After that, she has brought it up in many conversations with other family members, and I knew that I couldn't trust her from then on. I am now 25 and she tries to talk to me about the situation, but I still don't trust her. What should I do? That's pretty shitty of your mom. Okay, first of all, you don't believe what I say. Okay, you tell me that it didn't happen, but yet and still you decide to have the conversation with the family members about it. I mean, why? What is she discussing with them? Is she trying to figure out if they think that you telling the truth? Is she confronting the person that supposedly did it to you? Like, what is her purpose? I have the least amount of respect for parents who purposely leave their children flailing in the wind like this. To me, as a parent, your number one thing in life should be to protect your children, because children don't have any option. They have no safe haven, and if they don't feel safe with their parents, then what else do children have? So if my daughter were to tell me something like this would happen, immediately I would believe her, because why would you lie about something like that? I mean, I know that there are children that lie, but more times than not, these things are happening, okay? And at least, as a parent, you owe it to your child to really, try to figure out exactly what is going on with this person. And if it's true, then we need to start talking about bringing charges on folks if a person was old enough, if that other person was an adult. I gotta say right now that I don't have that much respect for your mom. So I don't know if I can even tell you, how to trust your mom, because I wouldn't trust your mom. You need to go to get some professional therapy, okay? Because obviously the person that you should be able to trust is not the person that you can trust. So now you need to go outside, get your feelings out, and try to deal with it there. But yeah, as far as trusting your mom and telling her other things, I don't think I would do that, okay? Because we already see how that goes. Okay, unless you want all the rest of your business and all the rest of your feelings to get out in the family. Okay, probably half-ass told the story. Okay, probably not even accurate on what happened. I'm sorry, I don't trust your mama, so I can't tell you to trust a lady either. That's really it. We're both in our 40s, and you know how it's taught that a man's sexual peak is in their 20s, and we women in our 40s, how's that been working out for you? Rox, my early 40s was fine. Virtually didn't feel anything. Now, midway through, yikes. I have a living partner, my beloved. I love him. However, he's much older than I am. We've both been celibate for near 2 years now. He's fine. Me? Lord. Ready to do what is labeled as cheating. Although I can communicate with hubby with just about anything, so he's well aware of my inner percolating innards. There's this young man in his 20s. We're friends. He seeks me for advice, knowledge. At first I was honored and saw him as a younger brother. Now I see him as a younger brother. Brother, B-R-O-T-H-A, this is funny. One that's highly fuckable. I just don't want to ruin our friendship. You know, sex either ends something or begins something. It's ruled by Scorpio, for Pete's sake. Friendship is ruled by Aquarius. Aquarius and Scorpion merging. See how that reads in any well-respected astrology book. Intense. Sigh. Oh, girl, help. First of all, girl, I am not fixing to be up on this video and tell you that you should cheat. Okay? So you ain't never gonna get that kind of answer from me. First of all, understand why you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys are celibate. I'm confused. Now, I know you didn't say you were married. You said that you were with a partner. But then another part of you said hubby, but you probably just call him hubby because you guys have been together so long. But maybe you and I don't know what to tell you, child. I don't want to sit up there and say that you and the guy need to break up and maybe y'all should just be friends so that you can go and fuck whoever you want to, but that's kind of sounding how it should be. It kind of sounds like that's what you guys are right now anyway. If you're friends with somebody and you're not having sex with them and this is your mate, okay, this is your person that you're intimate with, either sexually or not, but just the intimacy of being close with somebody. Why are you locking yourself off from pleasure? You ain't fucking your mate, and then there's other people that's around that obviously you can do it to. Why are you putting yourself through that? You guys can't just be really close friends so that you can go on and do what you want to. Like, I'm missing part of it. And I don't understand why y'all not fucking. I guess maybe because he's much older than you. Maybe it's time for us to start adding other things to the equation. Okay, maybe we need to get some toys in there, maybe we might need to do some oral things and some digital things. Because, girl, yes, 40s is something different. Very interesting time, okay, and definitely have changed my sexual outlook on life. So I kind of know where you coming from. This ain't gonna work, okay? And I guess you've had a discussion with your man. Is he open to you, him letting you go out and, taking care of old Gina? Is he open to letting you go out and maybe, handling it sexually, and not getting emotionally tied with somebody just so that you can be happy since he's not? Ain't no man really around that's going to tell you that's okay. So I don't even know why I'm asking you that question, but yeah, girl, I can't figure out why. Yeah, this is some ain't working here. I am not going to tell you that, okay? What I'm going to tell you to do is have this for real discussion with your man and see how y'all can work through this, because it sounded like you got one foot out the door and the other one on a banana peel, okay? Good luck to you, girl. You have to let me know how that turned out. All right, everybody, so that's it. I decided to go get my big baby, who is 13 years old. She just turned 13, like I was telling you guys at the beginning of the video. So, Jada, say hi.
Hey.
This is Jada. Her hair is a mess, you guys. We both, y'all, we just woke up and we trying to get ourselves to get ready to check out of this hotel and everything. But see, I bring her on to be on the video and then she don't even say nothing. And she been asking to be on the video forever and ever. What do you want to say?
My name is Jada and I'm 13 and my birthday March 26, 2001. And
Tell them what you got for your birthday.
Oh, I got an iPod. It look like this, but it don't got a case, and it's in my room, in my hotel room. So.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I just thought I'd bring my baby. Somebody asked me if your dad was white because you had light eyes.
What that got to do with anything?
And because you're so light skinned.
I'm not so light skinned.
You can look at her and tell that she got black folk features for sure. So she fair skinned, but you know,
was
we
that a
looking
grown
at
lady
this
asking that
and this,
question?
okay?
Was that a grown lady asking that question?
Yeah, this is part of Roxicology, which is when they write me questions about, you know, different things.
You should have let me answer that question.
Okay, all right.
I got a request.
All right, so anyway, that's it. I'm sorry for those of you guys who wrote me the letters and you guys didn't hear your letters answered on this video. Some of y'all was writing books, and I don't have the time to read all those. I mean, I did read a couple of long letters today, but you guys was sending long letters. And I should have said from the beginning, don't be sending me all these long letters because I'm not going to read them. If you want, you can rewrite me the letter, you know, much shorter if you want to, and then, you know, I'll do it on whenever I do another Roxicology video. But, you know, I know y'all probably like, fuck it, I ain't doing all that over again. She ain't answered it, just, I'm sorry, y'all. But, you know, this video already long enough. So, anyway, that's it. Roxicology was fun, didn't take too much out of me. Like I said, I'm going to do them every now and again. So, you know, now that you see this video, that don't mean send me no whole bunch of questions. Or if you do, it's nothing that's going to be answered immediately, okay? So just be held on to until I feel like doing another Roxicology video. But anyway, that's it, you guys. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. And everything I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.